Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Riderpiece Theater. Me, Alistair Dayhawk, and tonight, me proud to present Kamen Rider Gavv, episode 19. So this story begins with Shoma once again showing up too late, seeing our beloved Hanto getting another L by Lage 9, and you see Hanto once again in a bloody mess. And Lage 9 decides that maybe this blow didn't kill him, so maybe the second one will. And luckily for Hanto, Shoma this time saves him by pulling a ninja act. They both disappear, and Lage 9 was looking for them. But unfortunately for him, he spots a Lango agent, who I believe has been there the entire time, looking at the fight and whatnot. So Lage 9 decides that maybe it's time for me to take my leave, or else my cover will be blown. So he leaves, and we see Shoma hiding behind a mini brick wall with Hanto. And this is where Shoma really doesn't know what to do, because he knows that he cannot take Hanto to the hospital. So he doesn't know what to do. But luckily, there was a chocolate cachizo that came out from Hanto's pockets and tells Shoma to follow it. So after the opening credits, we go to the Ganyu world, where the Lango agent reports to the three siblings, Lango, Gota, and Nave, and it reports back to them that, hey, we have a third Kamen Rider, a third Ganyu hunter. And of course, Lango and Gota was like, oh great, we have another problem. A third Kamen Rider, while Nave is acting dumb. And just, he's amused that, oh, I can't believe that these humans are very resourceful. Something around those lines. But you can tell that Nave is very proud of himself, and he is acting dumb. And can you imagine, once Lango finds out, he's going to get pissed off. Because we all know that Lage 9 is gonna join Shoma and Hanto. And once Lango realized this, that he's going to get pissed off at his younger brother, that you realize that you gave the enemy more power. Like, dude, as smart as you are dumb. Yeah, pretty much. But right now, the two siblings don't know where this person is from. They assume that this person is human, not a Ganyut. So yeah, it's gonna be really bad for Nave. So we move on to the offices of Dr. Nick. Yes, the chocolate cachizo led poor Shoma and Hanto to the offices of Dr. Nick, and we see, Dr. Nick at his office, sees Hanto all injured, so he is bandaging him up. And as he is doing his thing, this is where Dr. Nick, asks Shoma, so you must be the red Gavv. And Shoma pretty much outed himself and said, yes, no, yeah. Too late, Shoma. You just revealed yourself to Dr. Nick. And so Dr. Nick introduces himself to Shoma and all that, saying that I was the one who gave Hanto the power of a Kamen Rider, and I'm a Ganyu researcher, that sort of thing. And then he invites Shoma for a cup of coffee. Shoma's like, no, thank you. I have to go. You take care of Hanto and whatnot. And Dr. Nick, being very insistent, was like, no, don't worry about it. Have your coffee. I will not accept no for an answer. And this is where we get to see secretly Dr. Nick taking a piece of Shoma's hair. And yes, I get the feeling that Dr. Nick is going to be the creator of the bitter Gavv driver, because why would he need Shoma's DNA for, right? And unbeknownst to Shoma, Dr. Nick has become a new enemy because remember, Dr. Nick is working with Nave. And Dr. Nick now knows that Shoma is a Ganyut. So there is a possibility that Dr. Nick could spill the beans on Shoma, tell Hanto that, hey, the red Gavv is the one you're partners with is a Ganyut. Yep, I'm telling you, Shoma needs to tell the truth right away because the more of his enemies knows his secret, yeah, and the more dangerous that Shoma, the more dangerous Shoma, the more dangerous the truth is going to be if Shoma doesn't tell Hanto the truth right away. But that's just my opinions only. So we get from Dr. Nick's office to Log A9. He receives a message from one of Lago's agents telling him and other part-timers to be cautious around this new Kamen Rider and, do your thing, but be cautious and whatnot. And then he goes on his phone again and he just looking for places to hunt down, humans. And because, he wants to be in the good graces of Lango. So to find out the truth. What truth? I don't know yet. We don't know yet. So we get to Shoma. He returns from the offices of Dr. Nick to Sashika's office. And Sashika receives word that the bird Ganyut is no more. And she assumes that Takeshi was rescued along with the other kidnappees, which you can tell, but you can tell on Shoma's face that he's like, yeah, he was rescued, yes. But you can tell on his face that he is very sad. Like he was like, yeah. But the truth. We all know the truth that he couldn't rescue Takeshi because it was already too late. He was going to the factory. And so as, Sashika was feeling all happy that Takeshi has been rescued, you get to see Shoma with the sad look on his face, and we immediately go to the next scene where Shoma is searching for, Takeshi. And the next best thing that he was doing is to go back to the old checkout places, and he finds nothing. So Shoma has unleashed a barrage of Kachizos and tells them, hey, look, please be on the lookout for any, Ganyu checkout points because, he's looking for Takeshi and whatnot. And during the search, he ends up finding Log A9 and follows Log A9 to a school. And they both enter the classroom, and Log A9 was about to do the thing. And luckily for the students there, Shoma steps in and stops the process. And this is where we get this one-sided fight between Log A9 and Shoma. And, oh, man, it has to be one of the worst beatings Shoma has ever had so far because it's been one-sided. Log A9 just beats the holy hell out of Shoma from the classroom to the cafeteria to the hallway. He's been beating up Shoma everywhere in the school. So yeah, Shoma is getting his ass kicked, his candy ass kicked. And so, he tried to take his Gavv away, assuming that, Nave gave Shoma the same power, the same driver, but he discovered that, wait a minute, this is not a driver, this is a Gavv, and this is where he discovers that, oh, you must be a fellow Ganyut. Um, so things have gotten worse for Shoma as they both transform, and once again, that fight has been very, very brutal. Um, so during the fight, I'm not going to explain that brutal fight because I expect you guys, already seen it. Overall, as completely one-sided the fight was, Log 9 once again shows how expert of a fighter he is compared to Shoma. So Log 9 during the fight tells Shoma that if I take him down, that will mean I will gain favor from Lango. But Shoma breaks his bubble saying that, hey, so you're trying to kill me in order to gain favor? It's not going to work. Because the Stomach family is run by people from the family. There's no way a Ganyu like you will go up in rank because you're not family. Maybe as close as being a bodyguard, but to be one of the top people or the top Ganyus in the Stomach family, that's only reserved to family members. So Shoma knows that Log 9 is going after the Stomach family. He's not going after the dark treats, and he pretty much said, "You're wasting your time," based on what I just said earlier. And he also added, with a lie, that he used to work for them. It's a lie, because obviously he's not going to tell Log 9 that, hey, I'm also a member of the Stomach family. Because he's right now getting the holy hell beaten out of him by Log 9. Can you imagine if he blurted out, hey, I'm a member of the Stomach family? Those people that you are working for, they are my siblings. Can you imagine? Because already by telling Log 9 this lie about him working for them, used to work for them, it got Log 9 into berserk mode. And no living human alive can survive a beatdown that Shoma received, because it was a bloody beatdown. So now we get the origin story as to why Log 9 is going after the Stomach family. So so it all goes back to his little brother, Komil, and this is where he tells his story about his little brother, how he is very sweet, innocent, very caring of others, until it led up to his exposure to the dark treats. And you can tell that he got addicted to it because he was the one that he was stealing money from his older brother's coppers, his piggy bank, whatever. And this is what addiction does to people, because once you're hooked to something, you don't want to let that feeling go. You want more, leading up to doing stupid decisions like stealing parents' money just to get more of the stuff. I mean, the poor kid got addicted to the candy crack. And, it sucks because seeing this little kid being sweet to Ganyuts and whatnot, it's like, oh. But that just goes to show how very dangerous these dark treats are. Because once someone eats it, they're hooked for life. And I haven't seen a Ganyu who is willing to give up the dark treats just yet. And Uncle Dente made sure of that, because even he said, look, my greatest shame is creating those dark treats. I made it so that no Ganyu could resist the dark treats. So if he created those dark treats, he can find a way to undo the effects of the dark treats. But that's until later. Already we're going into episode 20. And yeah, things will get very interesting in episodes 20 onward to our 30 branch. And this is where we're going to get our King of Sweets ultimate form. Yep. Anyway, so the poor little brother got addicted to the candy crack, leading up to his death. We don't know what happened to him. That's why Login 9 has decided to infiltrate the stomach company, discover who in the hell killed his younger brother and why. And Shoma explains to him, because during the fight, Login 9 was accusing Shoma for killing his younger brother because, got a Ganyu hunter and all that. And mind you, he was killed a year ago. Shoma tries to explain to him that there's no way that I could have killed him because I discovered my powers 4 months ago. There's no way that I was the one that killed your younger brother. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not me. Also, my power is my own. Name never gave me anything. And yeah, and it's true. And so Login 9 only had dark treats to go by, and he just did his research, and we saw him in his debut, him craving for the dark treats. We saw him get abducted, and then he got a job at the stomach company, and and the rest is history. So we move on from there to the end, because this fight was just one-sided, and also this is Login 9 confessing to Shoma and to everybody in the audience, I have a younger brother who got killed. We don't know who killed him, and I was the one that put in all the work to get myself myself getting captured by the scouts, and pretty much put myself in that situation where I infiltrating the company and trying to abduct humans in order to gain favor and hopefully get information. But unfortunately, he can't because of what Shoma told him. And Shoma, at the very end of the episode, wants to help Login 9 find out the truth. He said, "Look, I'm willing to help you. And I know that you don't like to kidnap people and whatnot because you're doing what you think is best to, gain favor, but this is not right. I can help you get the information that you need." And also he added this: "Look, you have the powers of a Kamen Rider. Are you going to keep using your powers to still be their lapdog? Or will you use the power that they gave you to top their ambitions?" And this is where Login 9 demorphs. He didn't say anything, and he just walks away, leaving a battered Shoma with gummies on the floor, and she's just like, yeah, he got beaten up pretty good. And that's the end of the episode, guys. So this episode, once again, just, it's a very good episode. The writing of this show is really, really good. And I'm surprised that now Login 9 is willing to join forces with Shoma, because in the next episode, we see the preview. Shoma is taking Login 9 to the Ganyu world to not only hopefully get information about what happened to his little brother, but also rescuing the kidnappees along with Takashi. Now, like I told you before, Hanto is a major problem. And once he discovers, for one, Shoma is helping Login 9, and two, he took him to the Ganyu world, Hanto will have a ton of questions he wants to ask Shoma, and he's going to get very upset. And remember, I said this a couple of videos ago, that Hanto would not like the idea of a guy Newt working with him and Shoma. And this is where Shoma really needs to put his foot down and be like telling Hanto, look, I understand your feelings towards Ganyut, but he is a good guy. He's an excellent fighter. It's better for him to work with us than against us. So can you please put your hatred aside for the good of this team? But this is something that Hanto will not do. And this is where Shoma, I keep saying this, he needs to tell Hanto the truth right away, because, okay, Dr. Nick knows the truth, and Lage 9 knows the truth as well. And Lage 9, of course, he will not do anything malicious towards Shoma, but what would happen if he accidentally tells Hanto that, hey, like, this kid is a Ganyut? So, like, he accidentally spilled the beans. And this is where it caused Hanto to be really, really pissed off. And be like, Shoma, like, you lied to me. Why didn't you tell me the truth? And you forbid me of going into the Ganyut world, and then I see you and Lage 9 going into the Ganyut world. Like, what's going on? What's your priorities? Remember, the Ganyuts killed your mother. And Shoma could provide a good explanation and be like, look, all three of us lost somebody because of the stomach company. Let us just be let us be united for one common cause and then deal with the friction later. But Hanto is not gonna. Yeah, Hanto is not gonna. He's not, guys. He's not. He's gonna get very upset, and he's gonna go back to Dr. Nick. He wants to, get powered up because, he's been getting so many L's, and he doesn't want to deal with Lage 9 and especially Shoma for lying to him, for not telling him the truth. So I already see that the relationship between Hanto and Shoma is really gonna break. But again, this is going back to Gabrielle and Xena. They build up the relationship until the writers decided, hey, let's just throw this. Is the relationship gonna survive? Let's throw that. So this is the writer's way of testing the relationship. Is Hanto willing to set his anger aside for the greater good? Or will his hatred towards Ganyuts be all consuming and be like, look, I can't work with this Ganyut at all. So it's either him or me. If it's him, I'm gone. I'm going to hunt Ganyuts by myself. Goodbye. Which leaves Shoma all upset. Of course, he will try to convince him to come back, but it's messy. It's messy as hell, and I'm here for it. And I'm sure you guys in the audience are here for the messy too. So, yeah. So, what are you guys' thoughts and opinions about episode 19? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? And yeah, if I missed anything, even though I have my notes in front of me, just write in the comments below. Give a like if you like it, and please subscribe. And give me your thoughts and opinions of what would Hanto do now once Lage 9 joins the group. What would he do? Would he set his anger aside? Or he's just like calling it quits and doing stuff. He will do stuff on his own without Shoma. All right. Give a like if you like it, and please subscribe. And I'll see you all on the other side of Oblivion. Johnny!